Okay, as promised, back for part two, and we have installed the inverter, we've installed the battery, everything is working fine, but now we've got to make this a solar power system, and that means solar panels. It's easy to find used solar panels here on the island. Nice thing about it is you don't have to pay shipping. When you buy new solar panels, you will get them for, you pay for them by the watt, is kind of the way that, or you price them that way. It's kind of like going to the grocery store and looking at the price per ounce. Right? You compare solar panels by price per watt. So if you bought a 100 watt panel and you paid $50 for it, you're paying 50 cents a watt. An okay deal is maybe 40 cents a watt. You can get some pretty good deals that are in the 30 cents range. The ones that I got here used, I paid 14 cents a watt. However, they're all used panels, so they're not producing what they used to. But I figure even if I'm only getting half the power out of them that they're rated for, I'm still paying 28 cents per watt, and that's a bargain. So I bought 14 of them, of these panels, 10 for here, 4 for out of the property, out of the shed. And now the issue is, how do I put them up? And what Patty and I had thought we would do, or I would do, is on a rooftop terrace where the countertop and the sink is, there's pretty much a square right up above us that's open. And it's a little less than 10 feet across. And I thought, okay, well, what I can do, we wanted some shade there and some structure there. So I thought what I can do is build a truss, really. Just a rectangle, and the span has to be at least 10 feet. But that's easy. But what the angles that the dimensions that I know the angle, because I need a 20-degree angle given where we are. And when I bought the panels, I figured I would butt them end to end, so I'd have 5 rows of 2 panels like this. So I know what the length of 2 panels end to end are. So that's the hypotenuse. And then I could figure out, given those dimensions, I could figure out what the rafter was and what the rise was. And so I put together this triangular rafter like that, put together 5 of them. And the idea, what I was thinking was I'd bring them up and then I'd just kind of roll one up and roll the other up, and then I had cut all this is out of metal studs, but I cut some metal channel, and I could drop that over this one and then roll this one up and drop it over that, and it would hold them in place. Drop that one and hold it in place. Sort of like purlins on a roof, if you know what those are. That was the thinking. And then I would have this sort of roof structure, and then the solar panels would act kind of like the sheeting to help to tie it all together. That was the idea. Well, I put these 5 trusses together. I then wound up getting, wrangling one of them up on the rooftop so that I could take a look at it up there and see how it worked. And it looked okay, but as I realized that on both sides of that opening are an air conditioning compressor and a water cistern. So there's ours, and then on the other side there's our neighbors. And it wound up that the rafter was too long to fit between those. And I love little rats. Well, okay, what I can do is butt the pointy end, which has to face south, up against our AC compressor, and then let the rest sort of hang over. But I looked at that, and it would have hung over my neighbor's house by about 3 feet. I mean, it wouldn't have. I'd have been able to make it so that it wouldn't have interfered with his air conditioning, it wouldn't have interfered with his cistern. He'd be able to get to them and work on them or whatnot. But I really didn't want to build my solar panels so that about 20% of it is over my neighbor's house. So I thought, well, crap. To get around that, what I need to do is lift these rafters up 28 inches, and then they will clear the cistern and the AC panel, and I could essentially slide everything back that way. So I did that. I extended them so that it was now up 28 more inches. And now this thing's just too big for me to handle on my own. So when Patti comes back from Connecticut, she helps me with this. God bless her for it, because she really does not like heights. But she was a trooper, let me tell you. So she climbed the ladder up there onto the roof. And the roof is easy. I mean, once you get up onto the roof, it's flat, it's concrete. There's a parapet around it. But we needed to raise this now 28-inch higher rafter right at the edge of the building. She wasn't particularly happy with that, but again, she was a trooper and she hung in there and managed it. I'm super proud of her. But she got her side secure, and then I got the bigger side, rolled it up. Put a brace on it to kind of angle it in so that we could step back. And this thing was just monstrously big. So that the two panels went like, end to end like this. The higher panel was probably 8 feet off of, above the roof. I mean, it was huge. And we both looked at that and went, no, that's not going to happen. So then we scrapped the idea of just using the panels as the roofing, as providing the shade. And I just built a flat roof across the top of this thing, across that rectangular opening, almost square opening. So just metal studs as rafters on 16-inch centers, and corrugated metal roofing as the decking there. And I think 5 sheets would have worked. I bought 6 and overlapped them a bit more to give me even more strength in that roof. So it's rock solid, and it's Tapconned into the concrete. So it's down there pretty darn good. And then I made 2 rows of rectangular trusses, except now they're just kind of braces. And I put those together and mounted the panels, a row of panels on those. And I could only get 4 of them this time. So I mounted 4 panels on these, slid it across, brought the other one in, mounted 4 on that. So I've got 8 panels up there, and then I found a place where I could put 2 more panels up, kind of butting them end to end. So it was a lot of work. It was, we'll try this idea. Okay, that's not a bad idea, but it's not going to work. So let me change it to this idea. Well, that would work, but it would be huge. Really don't want to do that. Okay, let's do this. So it was an enjoyable project in that regard, getting all of this stuff together. Now at this point, I've got 10 panels up on the roof. They're all connected. And they're all connected down into the inverter, and they are generating power for us, well, as I speak. Okay, coming up next is the shed, and then after that, I'll chat with you about the backhoe. That is, unless there's something that you want me to talk about. Is there something that I mentioned in this video, something that you saw? Something that you're aware of that I might not have mentioned, let me know. Right, that's what the comments are about. I'm just sitting in an empty room talking to a camera, and the idea of this is it's supposed to be something of a dialogue. I know that can be difficult, but that's the idea. We're looking for some give and take here. So please comment below. Last video, I think the only comments I got were a few chuckleheads former students of mine acting like they were children racing to get to the car. I got here first, I got here first, I got here first. Okay. You know, and I got that, and I just rolled my eyes and went, oh, come on, boys. Yeah, let me know what's going on. Let me know what you think. And you know, words of encouragement, if you've got those, or commiseration, if you've got those. As always, like this if you're so inclined. I guess this is among my videos, and not the bartending ones, the rum ones, like worthy, because hey, it's turned out pretty well. The project's not finished. I've still got to replace a few of those bad panels, but it's working, and it's working like it's supposed to. So I'll call this one a success. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and you want to keep up with what's going on with Patti and Warner as we've retired into Puerto Rico. So subscribe is the easiest way. I really do want to get these videos out like once a week, but I just keep having all kinds of technical problems with it. And again, it's a one-man show. In part because Patti has no particular interest in this sort of stuff, and she's in Greensboro, North Carolina right now, doing some travel nursing. This may be her last travel nursing gig, we'll see. And then share it. If you chat with somebody and they say, hey, you know, I haven't heard from Patti and Warner. I was thinking about them the other day. I wonder how they're doing. You can say, oh, well, Warner's put together a YouTube channel. Not that he does anything with it, but you know, you can catch up with them here. So please do all of those things for me. I would be grateful. I think that's it. I will tell you, you know, I apologize for taking so long in getting this done. It hasn't been from lack of attempts, although. You know, Patti's job, her travel nursing job in Connecticut, finished up in, I think it was in March, and it was lovely having Patti home again. And so, rather than shoot videos, we spent time with each other. We enjoyed each other's company. We're rather fond of each other. So it was really nice having her here. It was also really nice having her here because there are things that I'm trying to do that I simply cannot do alone. Lifting the inverter. Actually, she could have jacked that up, and I'd have guided it. But lifting the trusses, the big trusses up on you know, up top, I couldn't handle that alone. The thing's just too big and too flimsy. Work on the shed, holding panels in place to secure them to the studs. These corrugated panels, you know, hold it up with one hand, hold, you know, another corner with the other hand, and then with the third hand hold the corner in place, and then with the other corner, and then with your fourth hand. You know, use the drill to put the screw in, right? I mean, it's just impossible to build this thing. But she came back, and we went out to the property, and God bless her, you know, she was wonderful. So, you know, hold that in place on that corner, sweetheart. I'll put a clamp over here. I'll hold this one, put a screw in it, put a screw where the clamp is, put a screw where you were holding, bang, 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 and we knocked that sucker out. So, I didn't do the videos because Patti and I were working. Patti and I were chatting. Patti and I were, you know, rather than when we were up on the rooftop terrace, rather than setting this up and having me talk to a camera, I'm sitting next to my wife, enjoying a cocktail, watching the sunset over the Caribbean. You know, sue me. But anyway, she went back to a travel nursing job in Greensboro, North Carolina. She'll be there until the middle of August. So now I'm trying to catch up on these things. So bear with me. All right. Next video is the shed, and who knows? It may be me sitting in front of the chair again, narrating and switching out to some B-roll stuff, much as this one was. It's at this point, it's about all I can do. See you for that one. Take care.